Muy buenos días a todos. Bienvenidos a esta sesión informativa que estamos teniendo con el Festival de Annecy. Esto es una colaboración de la Dirección General de Cine, la DGCine, bajo el marco de Animarzo, colaboración con Anidom, a quienes estamos muy agradecidos por involucrarnos en esta hermosa iniciativa. Es una colaboración también con el mismo Festival de Annecy y con la Embajada de Francia en la República Dominicana. Ahora voy a cambiar a inglés porque nuestros panelistas y quienes estarán presentando en el día de hoy estarán presentando en inglés. Pero antes quiero que veamos un pequeño video de qué será el Festival Annecy y luego vamos a conocer a quienes estarán presentando el Festival de Annecy, a Michael y a Véronique. Michael es el CEO de CIDIA, la Cité de l'Image en Mouvement d'Annecy, bajo el cual se desarrolla este festival, y del lado del mercado, de la parte de industria, está Véronique, quien también estará presentándonos y explicando en qué consiste esto. Entonces veamos un pequeño videíto. Well, thank you for that video. Now let's be joined by Michael, Véronique from the festival and the market as well. And also we're going to be joined by Nicole and Jose on behalf of Anidom. And thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, so I'll let you do it, guys. Why don't you tell us about this wonderful festival and the opportunities that Dominicans now will have to hear more about it for those who haven't heard of it.
Okay, thank you, Mariana.
Thank you.
So first of all, hi everybody. I'm Michael Marin. I'm the CEO of CITIA, which is the entity who organized the festival and the market. I apologize, my speech, Véronique speaks a very good Spanish, but she will decide if she speaks Spanish or English, but my Spanish is very poor, so I can say a few words, but I prefer to do it in English, but I apologize. I'm very, very happy and we are very happy to be able to exchange with you today. And we hope that it will help the community in your country to come in the future to Annecy.
Hello, I'm Véronique Ancrena. I'm the head of MIFA. So I'm dealing with the industry part of the event, and we'll be presenting you briefly what are the opportunities when you're in Annecy in terms of meeting professionals, presenting content, and doing all kinds of networking events and discussions. So yeah, I'll be happy to share a few things and available whenever you want after to have more information.
So if we can go on the slide, or if just few words about our history. Next slide, please. So yes, Annecy began not in Annecy directly, but in Cannes. Before 1960, there were two events in 1956 and 1958 in Cannes for the animation community of that time, which was a very, very small community of artists. You can see a picture of that great people like Richard Williams on the picture. They were in Cannes, and then they didn't really felt comfortable in Cannes because Cannes was already Cannes, and the space for animation was already not so big, so they didn't really feel comfortable, and they wanted to find a place in order to welcome this meeting, and they, with after discussion, they decided to propose to the Annecy city to welcome the event. It was okay for one vote at with the Annecy City Hall and Annecy Council, but then in 1960 we welcomed for the first time the event. It was a very small at that time. Then few events, few festival. It was organized at that time every 2 years because there was a deal with other festivals like Zagreb, Hiroshima, and other festivals that did not exist now. Next slide, please. So yes, in 1960, you can see on the left Bratislav Poja, who received the first prize. Now the prize, we call it a crystal. It's not the same trophy. And the first official poster on the right. Next slides, please. So the beginning of the 90s was important for Annecy because until 90, the organization, the brain, the team management, and the artistic director were in Paris, and in Annecy, no really team. It was more volunteers. But in the beginning of the 90s, there was a new president, new government, and the idea was to say that the culture should not come from only the main city of the state, which was Paris, but come from the region. So that's why in 91 and 92, there is kind of break between the organization, and since 1981 or 82, the organization and the team is in Annecy. Next slide. Yes. So 1985, it's an important, very important date. It's the year of the creation of the market, the MIFA. Why? Because the new government wanted at that time to build a French animation industry. And for that, because we had at that time, the feature film industry was very, very poor. Only one feature every 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years or 10 years as a French one, and only the Disney movie, also American movies on the theater. And on the TV side, it was most of the program were from US and from Japan. So the French government wanted to change that and build a French animation industry. To build an industry, you need a place where professionals can meet, can discuss for new project, for co-production, and can meet as well to buy finished program. It's a time as well in France where it was the launch of new TV channels like Canal+, like the France, La Cinquième, like M6. So new channel that need at that time animation program for the audience. So it was the good timing to say, okay, we need to have a market, we need to have a marketplace. So where it can be, and Annecy was the best place thanks to the festival. Next slide, please. So yes, until 1897, it was organized every 2 years, and from 1897, it's now organized every year. Why? Because in 1987 we received enough movies to make a festival every year, enough content, thanks to the new technology, thanks to the CGI production, so more content, and it was as well a strategic decision in order to take the leadership worldwide, because when you organize it every 2 years, you have a team of volunteers, you have few people that work in a team, but you cannot build and improve year after year your festival and your markets. So after 97, and now it's organized every year. So just 2 slides in order to show that we and it's not that we don't put the full names of people that we welcome, but we welcome the biggest animation talent and director, and some people that you probably know everybody, maybe except some 1 or 2 French people, but Miyazaki was we were one of the first festival to welcome in it was in 1993, so it was a long time ago, Shiro, when the world discovered his talent. A guy like Mobius, McLaren, Takahata, of course Tim Burton, Guillermo del Toro, and we will probably welcoming again this year Roy Disney. So we had the chance to welcome the most famous talent, and it's why a lot of people like Annecy. We welcome that kind of talent, and we welcome as well students, and in the middle we welcome all people that are involved in the creative production, distribution, broadcasting process. So from the student to Guillermo del Toro, we are happy, honored to welcome all the industry, all the community, and something that is very cool in Annecy. It's still very cool with more than 13,000 attended. You can meet people. You can even talk to Guillermo del Toro. You can talk to Tim Burton. You can see that people and exchange with them, because we don't have it's not a red carpet with people that you cannot touch or talk with. We try to make it human and to make the exchange easy. Next slide, please. So yeah, just to say for the team, so it's we are close to 40 employees for the year. We had more than 50 people. So every month, every week from January till June, we welcome new talents in our team, and we are close to be 100 during the festival. We have a lot of volunteers, more than 400, and our budget, more or less, last year was around 6 million. So for the organization, so it means that the biggest part of our budget goes for the festival and the market. And that's why we are 38. We during the whole year we work in Annecy, so we have and we work with Gobelin, because we have some animation courses here in Annecy. We manage a big building where we welcome animation studios, the Gobelin, some companies. So we manage the building, and we make the connection between professional and students. We have educational program for the kids. We organize every year. We have a new small festival in winter called Livernal Festival. So it's on the beginning of December. So we organize it for the locals. So we have a lot of activities during the year, and then we have the big event in June. Next slide, please. So yeah, for the festival, slide again, please. So yes, in terms of attendance, it's more or less more than 60 years of growth, with, as you can see, 2 special years in 2020 and 21 with the pandemic. But yes, 2019 was before the pandemic was the biggest year. In 2020, in 2 months, I think that we did the biggest offer online for a festival and a market. And I'm not only talking about animation event, but audiovisual and cinema event, but with close to 16,000 attendees online. And we did it at home in 2 months with the team. So as a CEO, I'm very proud of what we achieved and what we did. 2001, it was an hybrid edition. We were the first festival to be held in France, the movie festival to be held in France, because Cannes changed their date in July. So we had a lot of pressure because all the festivals were watching us and not to see if it was a success, and it was a kind of success. So it was very hard to organize in 21, but we did it. And in 22, it was a good surprise, not a 100 surprise, because we know the power of and the dynamic of the industry and the animation community worldwide. But we welcome more than 13,000 attendees, which is a new record, and more than 100 countries, which was a record as well. So yes, and we will see, but it seems that this year will be as 22 or even bigger, even if it's not a goal that we have to break record year after year, because it's Annecy is a small city. We want to welcome people properly. We want to keep it human, but that's it. It's as I said, there is more countries that produce animation, more talents, even people from the live action, they want to do animation, and at the end they all want to go to Annecy. So we are lucky. Next slide, please. So yes, so the festival. So it's for the first year it will be 7 days. We used to organize the festival from Monday till Saturday. So this year we open on Sunday till Saturday. So it's a competition, strong competition. So we have different categories. We have the first category, 1960, was for short film. Then we have a TV category, we have a feature film category, and we have a student film category. This year it's a new record. We received more than 3,300 movies, and less than 200 will be in competition. Besides the competition, we have a lot of premiere. It can be with finished feature film, or it can be with some preview or of feature film that will be released in few weeks or in few months. For example, last year we had first images of Pinocchio from Guillermo del Toro. So we used to have that kind of, especially with the US major, we used to have that kind of premiere. We have as well a lot of work in progress session, especially for feature film, but not only. So we used to share with the audience a lot of fresh images, fresh content, and try to have the top talent sharing their pictures, their experience. And we have outdoor screenings. And it's not the picture that you have on the right, because it was a small one, but we have a big, and you have seen in the video, we have a giant screen just beside the lake. And last year, with the weather that we had a very good weather, we welcome every night more than 10,000 attendees, which are the Annecy families and people. It's not a professional audience, even if believe that some students or some people that comes to the festival go to see outdoor screening, but it's the local audience, and we are very proud of it. Next slide, please. So yes, as I said, I already give the figures. So you have the different categories, and inside the categories there is subcategories. For example, for the feature film, we have the official one. Then we have the contre-champ, which is more for feature film that come from new countries. It can be a first movie for a director. And then for short film, we have different categories. We have as well a category called off limits. So it's for non-narrative movies. I forgot to say that we have an artistic director called Marcel Jean. He's the only guy who is not living in Annecy. He lives in Montreal. He's the head of the Cinémathèque from Montreal, from Quebec. So he used to come a few times during the year to work with us. And we have as well a VR category. So we added 5-6 years ago. It works so very well, and you can see the key figures. So as I said, it's more than 3,000 movies, less than 200. So we put 200, but it was less than 200, the real figures, because one of the trends that we observe is that the short films are more and more longer now, which is it's not a problem, but it's a programming problem, because we used to have a short film that the length is 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes. So at the end, it's less movies in competition. Next slide, please. Yes, you with this slide, you can. So this is Marcel Jean, our artistic director, doing I guess it's the closing ceremony, the award ceremony. So you can see the distribution of the different categories. So as you can see, it's 3,000 on the beginning, and at the end, it's few movies selected. I want to say as well that we have some involvement and for the parity. So we try, for example, for our jury, the different juries, to have every year a 50-50 juries member, women and men, and what we observe as well is that for the different categories, shorts, TV, feature, it's for some categories it's now we have the parity as with a male director and female director, and for feature film it's better and better. It's where there is still a problem with a lack of women director for feature film, but it's better. Next slide. And now, yes, I forgot to say that every year we have a country focus. So this year it will be Mexico. So it means that we will have different programs on the festival side, showing the best of the Mexican animation from the past and the best from now. We will have Mexican jury members. We will have Mexican movies as a work in progress for our work in progress session. On the opener screening, we will have Mexican content, and Veronique will explain it to you. And on the market side, there will be a lot of Mexican activities as well.
Yeah, okay, so MIFA is taking place from the 13th to the 16th of June this year. So this is starting on Tuesday, whereas the festival starts on Sunday. So it leaves professionals sometimes to go to see movies on the festival side, and then they start meetings and presentation, conferences, and other activities starting Tuesday. So we'll see the detail. Next slide, please. This is how the MIFA grew all these years since 1985, as said Michael when it all started. So you can see that figures have been growing every year. We are very close to the professional community, and we add events, we add formats along the years according to the needs of the professionals, and also depending on the evolution, of course, of the animation industry, since it is moving all the time. We take the example of new technologies, for example, which is an important part of the market. And we can see that they are evolving a lot. So we always need also to add some discussions, conferences, or the demo sessions to show also the kind of evolution that we have. This is why there's this growth in numbers. Due to the evolution, but also due to the number of countries coming to animation. Of course, more and more countries are reaching out. And also we will see later on, we have activities all along the year as a market to accompany other countries, propose training sessions for countries that do not have the schools for that. So we will see how we can act on that side. So next slide. So these are the figures. We have, so the global figure for Annecy is more than 13,000 participants. That is for festival and market, knowing that the market welcomes the whole community. 13,000 people have access to the market to some parts, and some other parts are only available to MIFA delegates, which are certain kinds of events, and also among the exhibition area, all the production distribution side is only open to MIFA delegates, so really to professionals. Whereas the other venues, like the other areas in the exhibition place, like for schools, for new technologies, or for recruitment, this is open to all, to more than 13,000. And then we have the number of countries, more than 100 countries attending, buyers, 300 buyers, 153 booths. So in those booths, we have individual booths, and mainly we have pavilions for regions and for countries. So each country, most of the countries having animation in their country have a booth. So it's a very easy way to touch, to come to the country, to come to the pavilion and see who is acting there, what kind of companies there, what kind of studios, the content, and what professionals can be in contact to work with. So it means more than 800 companies on booth. And in total in Annecy, this is more than 2,000 companies attending. And the number of events, there's a huge offer of activities, whether for students, for young professionals, for professionals, confirmed professionals. So we'll see a little more in detail. Next slide. So we have, this is a new organizations we've put in place for this year, because last June was a very busy year. So with more than 13,000 people, it means that we have to organize all things properly, all venues. So in order to make it clear and to offer to each category a proper venue and good ways of welcoming everyone, we decided to separate in three offers. So we have standard pavilions, as I explained, is the exhibition area where you can find booths for schools, booths for recruiting studios. They are taking booths in order to see all the talents coming in Annecy. So you are invited to visit those booths and to take contact with the studios. They are organizing meetings with talents they would need right away, or just to be in contact with talents for the future, to have possible talents for the next film. So new recruitment, new technology schools, and then you have downstairs, it's on 2 floors, the production companies, the studios, the TV channels, the pavilions, and individual booths for all kind of companies, where you can circulate from Tuesday to Friday. Then we have an industry content. So this is the content that we'll see a little later with a little more explanations, and talent content. So it's all attached to training and to recruitment, so mainly dedicated to students and young professionals. And for that, we have created a new venue this year called the campus. So this is really the place where students and young talents can get together, network, and also attend the training sessions or the recruitment sessions. So next slide. So this is how is organized the MIFA. We can see that you have different venues. So on the bottom left, you see the stands and pavilions. This is a big marquee where we have all the booths on 2 floors, and you can see that there's some water. The Annecy has a very beautiful lake. So the market is situated very close to the lake. So we've been able to put in place booths in the market, but we also have created a platform on the lake where some booths have their own booths and even a terrace on the lake. And we also have a place to network that is open to all delegates, festival and MIFA. Then you have the Imperial Palace. This is the big hotel where takes place all the industry content of the market, including Salle de la Volière, which is a big room where you can see pitching sessions or studio focus sessions that will be detailed a little later. And then the campus, this new venue, this is really close. Everything is very close. So this is 3 minutes walking. So the link is very strong between professionals and talents. Next slide, please. So for the stands and pavilion, I have detailed the different areas. So you can see them here. The technologies, recruitment schools are the first floor, and pavilions for all the countries. And for the pavilions, we are regrouping countries by continent. So you have the South Latin American area, where you can find Brazil, you can find Colombia, Chile, Mexico, Argentina, Peru. They have pavilions. You have Asia with Japan, with Korea, China, Taiwan, Hong Kong, with Thailand for the first time this year. Of course, you have all European regions and countries, and you have Africa since lately, with Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Ivory Coast, and we have also a pavilion for Africa to group all the talents coming from the continent. Then and all the individual companies on booths. So next slide. So for industry content, we have MIFA conferences. So these are panels that are very interesting to attend in order to see what are the issues in the industry and how we can help the industry to grow and the professionals to discuss those issues and share ideas with other professionals. So these are under a form of discussion and sharing ideas. These are not proper presentations, but we always push for discussions and sharing ideas with 3 or 4 experts, professionals, having a certain expertise on each panel. So you have production organization sessions. On the artistic side, we deal with creation side of the projects, business also to talk about business opportunities and issues, and also tech, what are the issues with technology and including XR. Then studio focus sessions, we've created them for studios to present their environment and their content, to share more information with the professionals and also students. They have access. Demo sessions, all the technology companies come and share their tools. Partner conferences are open to all companies and countries to have visibility and share information, and press conferences from channels and platforms. So the next slide. Always on industry content, we share also content. So we have a competition for pitches, for projects. And so the MIFA pitches allow 4 categories of projects to be pitched: shorts, feature films, series and TV specials, and also digital experiences. So we select among 600 or 700 projects we receive every year. We select very few compared to the number. It's like a little less than 40. So the competition is very hard. And then they have 7 minutes each to pitch in Annecy in June. We offer this opportunity to also other countries who want to present their own pitching sessions. So these are the kind of countries who have been pitching, and every year we have like between 10 and 12 pitching sessions from different countries. Market screenings and video library where professionals can have a look at what's on the competition on the festival site, and also what is being listed by the professionals attending MIFA. And next slide will be for the meetings that we organize in the industry content, all kinds of networking activities between professional categories that we target in order to make the meetings very valuable. So these are the different categories of meet the sessions. You can see the list, and their share with stations allow professionals to share with TV channels and platforms some information. So it's especially important for newcomers who don't know well all the channels and platforms and what kind of content they are looking for. So I think it's important to be informed about that in order to submit the good content to the proper channel or platform. And then the Buyers Club will allow the buyers to organize all their meetings. The Annecy network offers the possibility to check the delegate list, who is attending, and how to connect with them. So you have a lot of possibilities to also make a choice of what kind of category you want to connect with. Next slide, please. And then the talent content. So as I said before, it's situated this year in the campus, and it will gather the events dealing with recruitment, since, as you know, in animation, a lot of talents are needed, and there's a lack of talent in every country. So studios take the opportunity of having almost 3,000 students in Annecy every year, plus the professionals who may be looking for a job. So they are taking this moment, and the all recruiting teams of the studios are all there to meet those talents. And training sessions, we have a format called MIFA Campus. So this is the whole week of workshops, presentation, masterclasses dedicated to students and young professionals. Next slide. So this is a little more information. Recruitment, it takes place with one-on-one recruitment sessions. For this case, you have the possibility to connect before on the website to to have a look at what the studios are looking for. They are posting the profiles on our website, and then you can send your profile, and they will select beforehand the profiles they prefer or that can fit their requirements, and then on the spot they will see the profiles they have selected beforehand. And Recruiters Talks will be a conference with the recruiting team, informing about how it is working with the studio and what kind of talent they could be looking for. And for MIFA campus, so this is 4 days of training sessions in all forms, talks, masterclasses, workshops. So next slide. This is the way the campus is organized. So there's one big room of 270 seats. And there's even another one that is not here, but it's 250 seats. So we have 2 big conferences room. And then the recruitment session room, we also have a chill out area that we call a café in the campus, where you can gather, organize your meetings, have a bite, have a drink, and network. Next slide. And then to finish this presentation, we have XR in Annecy also every year. As Michael said, there's a XR competition on the festival site. And also there are work in progress sessions, which means that we are presenting projects in XR. And this is also more a selection on the festival side. And then on MIFA side, we have, so in the new technology area, we have some booths that can be dedicated to XR. We have also an area to have a look at the content in XR, including the XR competition, the VR competition on festival side. We have pitching sessions. We have a call for digital experiences, and also conferences to deal with XR issues. So that's about it for the industry part.
Yeah. And just, yes, this slide, we are a public company. CITIA is a public company. So it means that our goal is the general interest and especially for the world animation community, and part of our founding member at the city, I don't know how to call it, but it's bigger than the city. Then you have the department, the region, and the French state, which is part of our board, and we have subsidies from the French CNC and from the media program, yes, from the European Union. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for this very wonderful information. Hope it motivates Dominicans to explore the festival and all the spaces it has, the talents, the market, and the whip, and all those that you've presented. We've had Tomás Pichardo since, I think, 2018 participating in the festival. I believe his first short was Hard Rot. So let's hope to have more Dominicans participating. Nicole, Jose, I understand you have a couple of questions for Mikael and Veronique, so I'll let you do it.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for bringing us this opportunity to Dejecine and for you to be here with us. So I'll let Nicole give us the first question.
Yeah, related to short films, we believe short films are a great way to kickstart a career in animation, like either animation or producing, and we were wondering if you could tell us about the importance of short films in the animation industry and why we should keep encouraging new creators to make short films.
I think that quite every famous and most talented directors in the movie industry, or especially in animation, they began with short film. As like, if I take example of Tim Burton, we had his first shorts. It was sent to Annecy. I think it was the beginning of the 80s. So it's important because it's a short film is where you can begin your career. It's where it's a creativity space. You can really explore. You can really express yourself, express your creativity. You don't have the same barriers or conditions that you need to respect if you do a TV program, because if you do a TV program, it's co-produced by a TV channels, and it's an order. They want a kind of program. They want you to respect some rules for their target. And if you direct a feature film, you need as well to respect. You have the budget, and you have some. If you work for a studio, the studio will ask you to do some things. But as a short film, even if of course you have to respect a budget, but I think you have more creativity, and it's where you can really try things. And the short, we love the short film competition because it's and especially the student film competition, and that's why a lot of recruiters, a lot of studios, if sometimes they don't have time to go to the festival, but if they go, they will go for the student film competition, because they will see where are the next creators, where are the talent that they needed. It's films. The creators, they don't create it with rules or barriers in their head. So it's you really see the creativity. And for some of the, especially from the big majors, but they use short film in order to keep talent in-house, because sometimes you cannot all the time direct feature, but sometimes if you want to keep the talent, or if you want to try if the talent is able in the future to do a feature film, you will try with a short. And if we take the example of Pixar or Disney, DreamWorks, most of the directors that we welcome with their short film that were produced inside the studio, then a few years after, we welcome them as a feature film director. So it's, I think as a country, as a film commission, as a studio, you have to, it's really important to take care about short film and to produce short film. Even if there is no industry on that, even if you are not going to win a lot of money with that. But when you have a short film when you have a good short film, you travel all around the world, because you are selected in different festivals, and then it's a door to do other movies.
And I think on the festival side, you can see that it's a very important category that is very much looked at. And also on the market side, we decided also to create lately a short film area, which was not the case before, because we could see that shorts were even more important than before. I mean, it's always been important, but we can see that now more and more platforms and are also looking for shorts because it's a very creative way to express. And as Michael said, it's your independence. You can create without not so much money. And so it's a good way to show your style or express your ideas. When we also do workshops abroad, I didn't mention it more in details, but we organize workshop abroad, and we usually push for shorts because it's, we don't have so much time, and it's easier for everyone to go this way.
So
Awesome.
Thank you very much for that information. Also, Veronique, related to what you mentioned with the workshops, I have another question. Specifically, I know that MIFA screenings seem to be a very good opportunity for projects to be presented. But however, for countries like Dominican Republic, where animation is just emerging, I've read that you've launched the Animation du Monde label and that you work with Pixelatl uh, for
Yes.
bringing these workshops. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
So yes, Animation du Monde is a category we created in 2015, and then was a way for us to welcome emerging countries in animation. It means that among the many projects we receive for the pitching competition, some of them are listed in Animation du Monde because they are from emerging countries, which give them more opportunities to be selected. And also in some countries, as we did with Pixelatl, for 3 years, we've been organizing, even 4 years, we've been organizing workshops there. And then the possibility to pitch during Annecy afterwards, because that was a discussions we had with Pixelatl, and we wanted to give this opportunity. It will stop with Pixelatl on project side, but we will probably do it in another country. It's a way to also offer other countries the opportunity to organize such workshops. And with Pixelatl, we will certainly keep workshops to train producers, because it's one thing to work on project and help project holders, but it's another thing to train producers so that in the countries you also get people to produce the projects.
And if I can add something, is that you don't need to, first, you don't have to be shy, because we have observed a lot of emerging countries that began in Annecy. You don't need to have a big thing. You don't need to have a big presence and try to be ready to come here. You need to begin to come. You observe, you are here, and then come again. So of course you will need support from a film commission, from the state, to have a strong community that join forces to be there. But if you come with your passion, if you come and then you come back year after, because you will begin to build your network, you will learn a lot here, you will make connections, so you will begin project at the end, 2, 3, 4, 5 years later. It's not anymore a question, because you will have projects, you will have movies, you will have talent that will be more, confirmed. So it just don't be shy. You have. I'm quite sure you have lots of talent in the country. We are here to help, and with Veronique, we observe a lot of countries, especially in Latin America, South America, like Colombia, like they began with it, and now they have, every year they have movies in competition at the festival. And as I told you, it's very, very strong competition.
And it's true that the producers coming in Annecy, the TV channels, the platforms, they know that in Annecy they will get a lot of talents. Not only for their teams, if they are looking for teams for a film, but also, for new projects and to get fresh ideas, other kind of project that they can't find anywhere. They are very interested in what's going on. So in Africa, they come and have a look at the talents. So they are very open to meetings. They want to spend more time with talents when they are in Annecy. So it's not, speed meetings with the industry professional. It's really, they are here to meet talents. So it's true that you have to go and see them, go visit the studios, approach the producers, approach the companies. They are here for that. And then you have all the parties. There are a lot of parties, cocktails during the day, during the evening. It's a great way to connect also.
Okay, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for all that insight. And the festival definitely is very welcoming towards our type of industry. And so thank you so much. And what you've said about the importance of the shorts is we appreciate it a lot, and it's very relevant in our context because we have a lot of young people, especially in the animation sector, also in the live action sector, and it's very important for us for them to value the shorts as a route in terms of professional growth. We have two questions, I see. Where can we get the badges or the accreditations for the festivals and the markets? And the second question, maybe both can be answered in one. What can we expect for on behalf of the young people or on the young professionals or young people's side in their first time in this festival and the market? What could be expected?
Everything, experience, passion, network, creativity, ideas. Make sure that you when you come in Annecy, you meet people and you say, okay, I have this passion for animation, but there is a lot of people like me, and I can share that passion and that what I want to do for my life. They are all here, so you can expect everything. You can expect a producer. You can expect to meet other directors. So
you can get training.
You can get training. So yes.
Yeah, it's. I remember the first delegation from South Africa we got. It was incredible because they arrived without not knowing much about what they would find. And they all said it's crazy. We thought we were alone in our room to work on our project and to be crazy to go to choose this way. And we realized that the whole community with whom I can share ideas and share problems and find the solutions and find partners. And they went back. They were, full of energy to keep on working on their project, and probably by sharing also their project with some others to get insight, to get also information and ideas. So I think it's all this you can find.
Amazing. So it's definitely a very welcoming and not at all overwhelming experience from what I could tell. What would you recommend to young people in the Dominican Republic trying to sell their animated projects? That's another question we get from the audience.
Come to Annecy. It's where you will find people that will give you can give you and take time to exchange with you about your project, and it's where you will find people that can finance your project. And there is one question about the accreditation. So we have accreditation, of course. It's open online, and then, as Veronique said, we have a lot of companies that come from under a pavilion, a country pavilion or region pavilion if it's from France. But we have a lot of countries, and then under the pavilion there is different type of. It can be production studios, schools, whatever. But it's the way that most of the time the companies come. Sometimes it can be the company itself. When the company is the big one, and it's normal, then you have enough money, power, network to take your own booth. But most of the time, it's a country pavilion. So and then it allows you, depending of course the policy of the film commission of the country. But sometimes it allows you to have an accreditation for a cheaper price and to avoid a lot of expenses. So you really focus on your content and your market in the festival.
But this is an important point because we can see that the country where there's no possibility to support the talents to attend events abroad, it's difficult then to attend by themselves because, of course, with the trip, the hotel, accreditation, it can be expensive all in all. So I think it's very important in the country to develop this kind of support for everything, for all the travel expenses.
Yes, and precisely on the Film Commission side, working with the private sector, specifically institutions such as Annecy, we've been precisely creating the spaces and support strategies for animators when they make it to either Annecy, Quirino. We've been for the second year supporting talent that can go to these spaces to promote their projects, or if they've been nominated, also make sure that they're there. Okay, so one last questions. Why are shorts so important for the industry? I think that was answered in the first one. Maybe we could reiterate.
We have a website for the more information. It's we changed the address, but it's we have a website for the Annecy Festival. I think it's www.annecyfestival.com, something like that.
Yeah.
So we have a festival. So now we quite every week we will release new information, new fresh information, more about next festival and market. So that's the address until June. Yeah, and we have a website as well for CITIA, but it's more a corporate website. But the one that you need is the Annecy Festival one, and we have a YouTube channel with a lot of interviews, lot of videos from professionals. So. It's on our channel. You can find a lot of information, a lot of inspiration as well.
Okay, well, amazing. We also have.
I just want to not to forget one thing. I would just like to, of course, to thank the whole organization for today. But I would like to say hello. I don't know if she's here, but to Brigitte from the French Embassy.
I'm sure she's connected somewhere, either YouTube or because I was talking to the team, making sure that she can hear us right now. And we're also very thankful to Brigitte. She has been amazing. Brigitte at the embassy and the whole embassy has been amazing with the Film Commission and supporting in all its initiatives and trying to promote all the spaces, festivals, markets that occur in France and even sometimes abroad. So thank you so much, Brigitte. You've been wonderful. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Veronique. Thank you, Nicole and Jose, for this amazing initiative. You know, the Film Commission is your house. Bring in all your ideas and we'll be happy to support you and to make sure that animation keeps growing, keeps on building community, which is very important for the cluster growth.
And next year in Annecy, make sure you come with the Film Commission and with talent.
Yeah. That is right. We'll make sure.
Thank you to the Annecy team for having the time to come and talk with us. And thank you, Mariana. Thanks, Natalia. Thank Mario for taking the time to organizing all of this. It's been great to work with you. All of Animarso in the context of this event that we have.
And thanks to, I don't know if it's Mark, the super guy that who organized.
Yeah. Also.
Mark, you've always been wonderful. Mark is French, by the way, you know. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.